This is my life. This is my passion. This is Ike's Outdoors. Hey guys, Ike here from IkesOutdoors.com. This is part 2 of the Project Ike back tension series, and first thing you're going to notice is I've switched bows. The reason I've switched bows is because the draw cycle on that Experience is quite a bit more harsh than this one. It's not a bad draw cycle at all, but this Nightmare is just a lot easier to draw. And that is a heavy 70-pound bow. It actually maxes out about 78 pounds, so almost an 80-pound bow. So all the way at the bottom of that thing, about as far as I can move it out, I'm about 68 pounds. And this one is a 70-pound bow, but I've got her back down to about 63, and with the smoother draw cycle, I'm hoping that will fix it. Bad thing about this one is the draw length is still 27.5, so the draw length still may be too long for me because it's module based and I don't have another mod. So I'm playing with my bows to try and figure out which one's going to be the best for this back tension. I've got a Motive 7, which is it's a 70-pound bow, but it goes down to 60 pounds pretty easily and has a good draw cycle to it. So it's my project bow, and once I get it finally completed and get it all tuned, it more than likely will be the bow that I'll shoot because it has a rotating module on it and I can shorten it up. So I've got a little bit lower poundage on this one. I've got a little bit better draw cycle on this one. I've been watching videos online, some by Griv, G-R-I-V, and I've actually visited his website, which I don't have off the top of my head. I'll put down here because he's got a really good website on this. And I've watched some of Bow Junkie stuff, the Scott seminar on Vimeo, and just advice from different people who've watched the other videos, and advice from guys on Archery Talk, and I'm moving forward slowly. What I picked up from Griv and what I picked up from the Bow Junkie video on the Scott is really there's no set manual saying this is how you do it. But one of the best pieces of advice I picked up was on Archery Talk, and a guy, I think his name was Paget on Archery Talk, sent me a message, or actually I sent him a message about setting up my release. And I set up my release the way he told me to, and that has made a really big difference. So I may end up in this video letting down because that's the way my release is set up and the way I'm doing this. If I can't get it to go off in a certain amount of time, then I'm letting down and starting my routine over. I still have this release set up with the clicker, but I'm going to get away from that clicker pretty soon because of what I've heard on Griv. His suggestion is to get away from it because it becomes routine of the clicker. There's the click. It's time to shoot, you know. So I'm going to try to get away from the clicker, or get it to the point where with the clicker it's already gone off by the time I'm settled in. I'm not quite there yet, but so I've loosened up. I've changed my draw length, or I've changed to a lower poundage bow. Hopefully my draw length on this one is a little bit shorter. I've also changed up my grip on the release. I'm going to wrap my thumb around the post, but instead of sinking this really deep like I was before, I'm going to try to loosen this thing up. And per Griv's video, the way I'm going to move this thing back is I'm going to keep pulling through, and my hand is actually going to slide through on the release. So my hand will start out here, and as I pull back, it'll go like that, and it'll trigger the release. I shot this about 4 times last night, and I actually shot it about 8 times, and about 4 times I did it right. And I know when I'm doing it right, I know when I'm doing it wrong. So we're just going to start shooting here and see how well this turns out. See, I didn't do my shot process right, and that's what I've got to get into, is the mental aspect of doing my shot process right. I had my thumb wrapped around the post for entirely too long, and I I changed targets in mid-thought and just, I didn't do it right. So I'm letting down and I'm going at it again to see if I can do it right. And I still don't know if I'm doing it right, but that felt right to me. That was a surprise when it went off, and felt like I did everything right with that one. I mean, I've still got a lot of form issues to try to fix, but I feel like I'm doing the back tension part right now, if I can continue to do it right. And I didn't do it right again that time, so letting down. And let's try it again. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I'm struggling to get it right and get my shot sequence right, and hopefully this looks better than what it did before. It feels better than it did before. And a big thing for me, the target panic that I'm trying to break, is the amount of time that I'm keeping my pin on the target. I got a bad habit with the index finger release of going from top to bottom, and as soon as my pin hits that target, ripping that release and making the shot. And a lot of times I shoot low, and I don't ever really pick a spot. I mean, I can't be like on a 3D shoot and pick, there's the 12 ring, I want to shoot it. I mean, I'm an 8 shooter. I'll shoot 8s all day long, but the 10s and the 12s and really picking that spot out on a 3D target's hard for me because of the way I do it. So let's try it again. And I am definitely going to change this release around and get rid of that clicker, because you probably seen me that time when as soon as that thing clicked, boy, I flinched. So I think I got one more shot here in me. Apparently not one more good shot. So this is what I'm doing now. You know, I pulled back probably 8 times here, and I've got 4 arrows to go off. So dang it. This is the challenging part of this thing, but at least this way I feel like if I'm not doing it right, I'm not doing it at all. Woo! That one was right, because that one scared the hell out of me. But, okay, so that's where I'm at now. I'll watch this video, and it's hard for me when I'm doing this video because I can't see if I'm doing something wrong, you know. I know I'm still kind of leaning back a little bit. Been doing that for about 20 years, so it's hard to break some of these habits. And I know I'm still kind of bending this forearm, and I may have a little bit too long of a draw length. But I'm just trying to keep all these things in mind and trying to change those things. And I don't think it's a good idea for me to try to change all of them at one time, which I'm trying to keep in mind. Push with this arm, pull with this arm, you know, keep your back straight, you know, things like that. But of course, my mind can only hold so many thoughts at one time. Let's, you know, face it, man. If we were as smart as women, we'd all be great shots, because women can think about multiple things, which is part of me is, I think, is why they're a little bit crazy. But don't tell my wife like that I said that. But trying to keep those multiple thoughts straight in my head is really hard, and it complicates the matter. So what I'm really focusing on is just sliding that hand, pulling that elbow back, and making a good shot with the release. And I'll work on the draw length and the T shape and all that stuff as I'm going in this. So I plan to blind bail shoot here just like this for a month, and just try to get everything in sync and everything ingrained. So more videos to come up, and hopefully as I progress, hopefully this will go a little bit better. But I think I'm in the right direction, so I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts, and I really appreciate all the help that I've been getting, because I think I'm making the moves forward, and I would not be able to do this if it wasn't for you guys. And you know, I'm not a professional shooter, you know, I'm a professional bow technician, and I know all about tearing these things down, tuning them, and putting them back together. But when it comes to certain aspects of archery, I'm not an expert, and I need help from you guys who are experts. And I want to become a better shot, and I want to become a more competitive 3D shooter, and I want to be able to shoot indoor leagues. I suck at indoor leagues. I go out to the indoor leagues, and I mean, I embarrass myself. And I want to be able to shoot spots. I want to go in the wintertime, and I want to be able to compete with these guys, you know. I don't want to put up a 360X, but it'd be nice to bust 300 once. Hell, it'd be nice to bust 290. So I'm about a 275, 280 shooter, which, if you know anything about indoor spots, that's pretty terrible. So, but I think I'm making the progress in the right direction, and let me know what you guys think. For more product reviews, how-to videos, be sure to check out the website, ikesoutdoors.com. Appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate all